As a humanitarian crisis continues in Ukraine, Poland is offering the country Soviet-era fighter jets, while the U.S. is putting an offer on hold. And Madison city leaders have a new plan to bring more resources to men experiencing homelessness. Welcome to News 3 Now at noon, everyone. I'm Chris Stanford. Russian forces continue their siege of Ukrainian cities, battles forcing millions of civilians to flee. Skylar Henry has the latest.
The Kyiv Symphony Orchestra used a temporary ceasefire to stage a concert Wednesday, a brief respite from the war. Outside of Kyiv, in the suburban city of Irpin, others used the break as a chance to escape the front lines. Humanitarian corridors in Irpin, Chernihiv, Sumy, Kharkiv, and Mariupol are allowing civilians to flee.
The Kremlin has changed their plan to a war of attrition, which means they're going to smash every town and city to create this terrible refugee flow, the weaponization of refugees, if you will, to put pressure on the Zelensky government and also on other European governments.
More than 2 million people have escaped Ukraine, with about 1.5 million now refugees taking shelter in nearby Poland. Poland is the first stop on Vice President Kamala Harris's trip to Europe. In addition to discussing the refugee crisis, the vice president will also talk about Poland's offer to supply Ukraine with Soviet-era fighter jets. Ukraine says the Russian-made jets can be put to use right away because their pilots are already trained to use them.
The best bet is the older Soviet Union types like MiGs and Sukhois.
Poland agreed to supply the jets, but only if they first go to the U.S. and other NATO countries before being delivered to Ukraine.
Afternoon, everybody.
The Pentagon shot down that plan, saying it would create the perception that NATO was taking part in the war. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
A State Department official says Poland did not consult with the U.S. before issuing a public statement announcing the plan to provide jets to Ukraine. Ukraine's Chernobyl nuclear power plant, seized by Russian forces, has lost power. Today, Ukraine's foreign minister said reserve diesel generators only have a 48-hour capacity to power the plant. After that, cooling systems will stop and make radiation leaks imminent. Ukrainian officials are calling on the international community now to demand a ceasefire from Russia so workers can restore power. The International Energy Agency tweeted out that it has been informed about the power loss, but it sees no critical impact on the plant's safety. All right, let's head to the Weather Center now, where Julian Seawright has a look at your certified most accurate forecast. Hey, Julian.
And it is a beautiful start to our afternoon. Pretty blue skies once again, and it's not too bad outside. The temperatures are just about 31 degrees as of right now, and we're going to just see it really just be steady into the freezing point throughout much of today, as those northwesterly winds are going to continue to funnel in some cooler air for us throughout our Wednesday. But as we see temperatures around southern Wisconsin, we can see just a bit of that divide from that colder air coming in from the northwest. As areas are still into the upper 20s and middle 20s, we can see for us here in Madison 31, but as you continue to trek into the southeast, it's into the middle 30s for Janesville, 36 degrees, and even to our friends in Milwaukee and Kenosha into the upper 30s as well. Taking a look at wind speeds, it's a bit on the breezier side as we're starting off our afternoon, especially for Janesville, 15 miles per hour winds. But as we go in throughout the next few hours, just know that we are going to be very steady, hovering into the freezing point throughout much of our afternoon. And as we go into tonight, we're going to be steady into those 20s, as well as colder conditions are going to be expected heading into the night. But we'll have much more to talk about because we are going to be seeing a bit of some spring-like conditions heading into the next few days. We'll talk about this in detail coming up in a few moments. Until then, back to you, Chris.
All right, thanks, Julian. Madison man is facing multiple charges this afternoon after he allegedly crawled into a bathroom stall at a Quick Trip and threatened a woman. Police say 18-year-old DeMarcus Willingham entered the women's restroom at a Quick Trip on North Stoughton Road last week. The woman told police Willingham pointed a gun at her and demanded money. When she said she didn't have any, Willingham allegedly exposed himself and demanded her to perform a sexual act. An employee then entered the restroom and the woman was able to escape. Willingham was later arrested. At a court appearance today, Willingham's cash bond was set at $25,000. He'll be back in court next week. Madison police are looking for the man accused of assaulting and robbing his victim. A man called police just after 12:30 this morning and said that he stopped at a gas station on East Washington near Oak Street to use an ATM. The man was walking home when he was attacked. He told police the robber punched and kicked him, then broke his phone and stole $100. More than a year after plans for a permanent men's homeless shelter fell through, Madison area leaders now have a new plan. They say it will bring some much-needed resources to people experiencing homelessness. Today, the mayor and county executive announcing their ideal site for a new shelter located on Bartillion Drive. That's on the far east side next to Rindall Park. The new facility would be Madison's first purpose-built shelter designed to offer a safer space that'll help the homeless connect to housing.
It has access to public transit with 2 new BRT stations close by and a short ride to downtown. And it has proximity to other amenities, including food outlets and hopefully soon a new city library. And also,
construction could start early next year, but the city council needs to first approve the site. Funding would also take future approval. Madison and Dane County have pledged a combined $9 million so far for the shelter. Another member of the Wisconsin State Senate is retiring. Democrat Janice Ringhand of Evansville announced that she won't seek re-election this fall. Ringhand was first elected back to the State Assembly in 2010 and to the Senate in 2014. She currently serves as the Assistant Minority Leader. 17 members of the legislature have now announced that they won't seek re-election this fall, including 12 from the Assembly and now 5 from the Senate. Florida is another step closer to banning lessons about LGBTQ+ topics in younger grades. State senators passed the Parental Rights in Education bill yesterday. It would ban instruction on sexual orientation and gender identity in kindergarten through 3rd grade. Parents could also sue school districts for violations. Districts say the threat of lawsuits will have a chilling effect on those discussions, and the bill's broad language could apply to any grade.
Allow this legislation to take us back and to not only return us to a place where we were silent on these issues, but where it's being enforced by a penalty. It's a frightening time.
We want focus to be on those basic fundamental things, the reading, the writing, the math. Discussions are going to come up. We can't ban a conversation. We can't ban a discussion. That's not what we're doing.
Nationwide, there are 18 similar bills moving through 9 states. Little by little, COVID-19 is going away. The World Health Organization says new global cases have declined by 5%. Deaths have dropped 8%. Even though the WHO just released the update, they're actually last week's numbers. The organization says it's important to note several countries are slowly creating more targeted testing strategies, which means there are fewer tests happening. There's a new effort to restore the loss of taste and smell in COVID patients. Jefferson Research in Philadelphia is testing platelet-rich plasma from the patient's own blood to restore smell. It's been used to heal injuries and regrow hair. Now, instead of injections, Dr. David Rosen and his team are using a biodegradable sponge infused with PRP.
Put it up very high in the nose where all the smell fibers are located. Gets absorbed through the lining of the nose. It basically helps those cells that have been damaged by the COVID virus to start regenerating.
Dr. Rosen says of the 9 COVID-19 patients who've received PRP, 8 have responded. Rosen says PRP therapy has helped other patients who've had trouble with taste and smell, and he hopes to get a grant now to expand research on COVID-19 patients. There's more to come on News 3 now at noon.
Congress expedites financial aid for Ukraine, and age is just a number when living the Lego kid life. I'm Diane King Hall at the CBS Broadcast Center. Of those stories and more in your CBS Money Watch report.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon.
GTW is different from the competition because
we bring 3 offices at once to 1 case.
A team of excellent lawyers from around the state
to bring justice for the needs of our clients.
All in to win. Gingras, Thompson & Walks.
Water is one of nature's most beautiful and life-sustaining resources. At no fault of their own, many Wisconsin utility customers are facing a shutoff to their water service. This leaves them without the one life-giving resource we all take for granted. And those hardest hit are on fixed incomes, juggling multiple temporary jobs, or those who lost full-time jobs in sectors hardest hit by the pandemic. If someone you care about needs a hand up, your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your water, heat, and power on. If you are in danger of losing your water service, call 833-H2O-WISC, 833-426-9472. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Andrew Larson here, owner of Larson Home Services. My team is fired up. We've discovered a new replacement gutter system that sets the standard for performance, durability, and beauty. It's called Gutter Shutter, and it's guaranteed to never clog, sag, or pull away. Gutter Shutter is the world's strongest high-performance gutter with thicker aluminum, wider gutter size, and it's available in 18 beautiful colors. Best of all, it's made 100% in the USA. Over the years, my team at Larson Home Services has installed thousands of gutter systems and premium roofs in our community. And what really sets us apart is the experience you'll have. You'll be like a member of our team throughout the entire process, and we'll always follow up to make sure your experience with us was as promised. That's the Larson experience. We can't wait to show you what Gutter Shutter can do for your home. Right now, get 75% off installation labor, free financing for 24 months, and a $100 Visa gift card with your new Gutter Shutter system. Call now to set up your free estimate.
Whether you have a design emergency or you just want to shop the best furniture showroom in town, you need Dwellings, Madison's best kept secret for design and furniture. Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
U.S. lawmakers reached a $1.5 trillion spending deal yesterday, with $13.6 billion earmarked for Ukraine and European allies. Congress was spurred on by the urgency to help Ukraine defend itself against Russia. Bipartisan support backed the measure. Pfizer is testing its COVID-19 pill in young children. Paxlovid has already been authorized for use in kids 12 and older, but Pfizer is now testing the treatment in children as young as 6. The drug maker expects to have results by the end of the year. Paxlovid has already been found to sharply reduce the risk of hospitalization or death in symptomatic adults. Brace yourself to potentially pay more when using your Visa or MasterCard. Both companies are planning to raise their fees on large merchants for the right to accept their credit cards, according to the Wall Street Journal. The fees often help build up the company's rewards programs, but are often passed down as higher costs for customers. And letting your inner Lego kid live on. The toy maker reported a 27% increase in sales in 2021, thanks in part to customers of all ages going all in on the building blocks. Lego says that both kids and adults continue to live the stay-at-home life, building more complex Star Wars and Harry Potter sets. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to CBSMoneyWatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Diane King Hall.
And at the noon hour, the markets are having a very good day so far. The Dow Jones up more than 700 points. The NASDAQ up over 400. The S&P 500 up more than 100 points as well. Still ahead on News 3 Now at noon, Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report has your daily ag numbers. Plus, one of history's most famous shipwrecks is discovered. And get ready to bundle up the next few days. Julian has Madison's certified most accurate forecast when News 3 Now at noon returns.
So, what do you think?
I love it.
Now at Menards, save big money and get 11% off everything. Give your bathroom a fresh update with a new Moen faucet. Moen faucets are available in a variety of looks and finishes to match your style. Get 11% off all Moen faucets. Keep your new bathroom clean with our great selection of Lippmann brooms, mops, and more. Save 11% on all Lippmann products. Get 11% off everything at Menards.
Save big money at Menards. should have used his power to serve Wisconsin. Instead, Ron Johnson served himself. An investigation found that Ron Johnson pushed through a special tax loophole that benefited his own family's business. After the loophole became law, Ron Johnson cashed out of the company for $5 million. Ron Johnson has doubled his wealth since taking office. Look up the facts and tell Ron Johnson to stop passing tax laws that benefit himself.
From working out to catching up, and of course, game night. Your home is the groundwork for all of life's awesome moments. This is Tom Coyle. My family and I say thank you. We're proud to have been a part of this community for 77 years. And during our 77th anniversary event, carpet installation is just $77. Coyle Carpet One Floor and Home. Beautiful, made affordable. Locally owned and operated since 1945.
Overture Center's beloved family series is back. We'll have a sneak peek at performances that'll make you sing, dance, and laugh at Kids in the Rotunda.
And temperatures trending warmer over the next couple of weeks. I'll have the forecast tomorrow morning from 4:30 to 7.
If you thought building a new home would be more affordable this year, think again.
It's just insane right now.
Eric Prunky talks to local builders to find out what's driving up the bottom line on home construction. Thursday on News 3 Now at 6. The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
All right, let's check in with Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report. Hey, Pam, good to talk to you again twice in one day. Lucky me.
I was going to say, you're going to be ready for a big nap by this afternoon. I hope the kids allow for it because, you've been burning the hours today.
Not happening.
Good.
Just living that Pam Yankee life.
Well, then it's a good one. I'll tell you, so long as the sun is out and things are going on, we got enough energy to keep going. I wanted to share some pictures with the audience, Chris, that we shared this morning. You know, with everything that's been going on in the Ukraine, things can get a little dark as far as our news. So how about something more spring-like and a little later? Babies on the farm. We've got a lot of them up at the Arlington Ag Research Facility. Todd Taylor, our shepherd, has got a bunch of baby lambs that he's been taking care of, as is the tradition for a lot of our lambs, our goats, even our cattle to a certain extent. Babies come in bunches, and that's why Todd has enlisted the help of some of the UW-Madison students to come on up and short-term help out. The baby lambs are being taken care of by some of the students that might be pursuing a veterinary degree, veterinary medicine degree, might be some animal science students, might be just farm kids that are kind of missing the interaction with animals on the farm. There's my assistant, Stephanie Hoff, couldn't get enough of the babies, wanted to take them home, and those little rascals are bouncing around, jumping and happy, and being helped out by some of those university students, at least for the next couple of weeks until they get beyond the bottle raising side of things and can get a little bit more onto regular feed. So hats off to those UW students that helped out, and just a sign of spring when the babies arrive. Well, we're talking a little bit more today about what's coming up. Wisconsin State Fair, one of those big events. Congratulations to Sherry Black. They have officially named her the Wisconsin State Fair Executive Director and CEO. She'd been acting as interim since last year when Kathleen stepped away and retired. And so now Sherry Black is going to be in the big chair, so to speak, as the Executive Director, CEO of the Wisconsin State Fair. Way to go, Sherry. World Ag Supply Demand Report came out earlier this morning about 11 a.m., negative to the marketplace. I can't tell you honestly how much is the World Ag Supply Demand Report and how much is just the fundamentals of what's going on with the Ukrainian Russian situation. Wheat took a major nosedive earlier this morning. Now basically all of our commodities are red ink. Barrel cheese today up a penny and a half at 208 and a half. 40-pound block cheese up a penny at 223 and a quarter. Double A butter up another penny and a quarter, 277 and 3/4 per pound. And if you haven't fallen asleep over there just yet, Chris, not trying to catch that quick news while I do the cow scores, we'll be out and about this afternoon. Doing some things down on campus, so catch up with you tomorrow morning, bright and shiny again.
Hey, I tell you what, those lamb pictures are just as cute the second time.
Yeah, I just think it's a nice shot in the arm. Sometimes we forget about the little precious things going on.
Oh, so cute. Pam Yankee, talk to you tomorrow morning.
See you later, buddy.
Scientists have found and filmed one of the most famous shipwrecks in history, more than a century after it sank off the coast of Antarctica. CBS's Tina Kraus has the story from London.
And off to the starboard side slowly.
These explorers spent weeks in Antarctica searching for a long-lost ship, sending underwater robots deep below the ice, hoping to make polar history. Their patience paid off when, from a sea of darkness, cameras revealed a secret the ocean has kept hidden for over 100 years.
Nothing surpasses the moment of a great discovery, and this was a great discovery.
The discovery of Endurance, a 144-foot wooden ship that sank in 1915, perfectly preserved and frozen in time.
The wood is as fresh as the day the ship went down. You can see her paintwork, you can see the bolts, you can see the ship's name, you know, Endurance, curved across her stern, and beneath it the great five-pointed star.
Scientists found the ship nearly 10,000 feet underwater and just 4 miles from where crew logs show it went down. Those white circles are dinner plates left behind.
I've never, ever seen a wreck anything like as beautiful and as inspiring as this one.
British explorer Sir Ernest Shackleton and his 27-man crew managed to escape the ice-trapped ship, but it was a 10-month ordeal. They camped on sea ice until it melted, and they could use lifeboats.
People will see those images and will connect to this extraordinary story from our history, the greatest story of Antarctic survival of all time.
That led to one of the most challenging shipwreck searches in history. Tina Kraus, CBS News.
Incredible. While the search for the shipwreck, which cost more than $10 million, was paid for by a donor who wants to remain anonymous. Temperatures will be dipping back down below freezing for the rest of the week. So here's Julian C. Wright with your certified most accurate forecast. Hey, Julian.
And we are looking at beautiful skies to start off our afternoon here on Wednesday. And we are going to be seeing those temperatures dip below the freezing point, as Chris just mentioned. But we're going to be hitting around freezing throughout the rest of today. Even though right now we're just a degree off, 31 degrees, it still doesn't feel quite bad as we're outside this afternoon. As we see temperatures around southern Wisconsin, many areas, especially into the northwest, into those middle and upper 20s. And for the southeast, are a bit of a different story. We're into those lower 30s and even stretching a bit more east for Janesville over into our friends in Milwaukee into those middle 30s. And we are seeing some breezy conditions as some gusts are into the upper teens and lower 20s throughout southern Wisconsin, especially here in Madison at 18 miles per hour gusting winds. But we are going to start to see, even though cloud cover is not going to be much of an issue for today, we're going to still see a bit of it start to build up as we get into the afternoon and going into our nights. Transitioning into Thursday morning, just know it is going to be frigid start to our morning commute. So make sure that you're bundling up for tomorrow morning, and it's not going to be seeing much improvement as we get into the afternoon, as lower to middle 20s will come back into the forecast for us. But we are still going to be on the quiet side because that small little burst of snow is really going to be south of Madison and south of southern Wisconsin, really just going to be hindering onto the Illinois state border. As we see for our snow chances, they are very minimal for the next few days. We're going to be looking at plenty of quiet and dry conditions for us here in southern Wisconsin, because as we take a look, as we've mentioned from the morning show, even coming into now, that system that was supposed to be bringing in some snow going in for Thursday and Friday is falling apart. It's not going to be connecting with this northern leaf system. That's just going to really evaporate, but might bring in some flurries late into our Friday. But we're still, once again, looking at dry conditions going into the weekend, and that's going to really be the story for us. The other thing, though, is that we're going to see a bit of a reverse Uno card coming, as we're going to see temperatures be below freezing. Then it's going to flip to 40s and even 50s as we get into Sunday, transitioning into next week. So for the next couple of weeks, we're actually going to see temperatures that are going to be pretty comfortable from the 40s and 50s. So it's going to be much pleasant conditions and even spring-like for the next few days. So that's the three things we're going to need to know. It's going to be cold throughout the next few days going into Saturday, but we are looking for milder temperatures of those 40s and those 50s all of next week. And that's what we're going to see from this 10-day forecast. And don't forget, we are springing forward from Saturday nights into our Sunday morning, but temperatures, again, upper 40s, low 50s, and flirting with 60 degrees on Wednesday. Got to love next week because it's going to be a taste of spring. That's going to do it for weather, but we'll have more news and our final look at weather coming up after the break.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Create your perfect room for relaxing, entertaining, and more with patio enclosures. Right now, get up to $6,500 off your sunroom. Plus, enjoy exceptional financing. Call today. Patio.
Hello, I'm Roman Ryan of Ryan Funeral Homes. As a locally owned and operated funeral home, it's important to know that not all funeral homes are the same. Some other Madison area funeral homes are actually owned by corporations based outside of the United States. A corporately owned funeral home is focused on the bottom line, making services more costly. We have served local families for more than 80 years, and our priority is investing in the community and your family. In your time of need, Ryan Funeral Homes are here for you.
You're a hard worker. Provide for your family. Do good things in the community. Help out your neighbors. You've been there for so many others. Now, we're here for you. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. Apply now for a hand up.
Guys, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction, Peak Performance for Men has a natural solution that can help you today. That's right. Stop wasting money on pills and inferior technology that hurts and just masks your ED. Fix it for good. The best part, our ED treatment is non-invasive, painless, and you can get back to your natural functionability after just a few short in-office sessions. Call us today and mention this ad, and your initial consultation is free. We are Madison's trusted specialist and only national erectile dysfunction provider. Call Peak Performance for Men today.
I never would have thought that Ron Johnson would have ever been somebody that I can say is family. I remember thinking, wow, he actually came here, but he actually took the time to step in the door and support my husband in a program, in a vision, in a dream. It was like their visions of helping the people were all one glue. And when the two of them got together, they developed a program called the Joseph Project.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Create your perfect room for relaxing, entertaining, and more with patio enclosures. Right now, get up to $6,500 off your sunroom. Plus, enjoy exceptional financing. Call today. Patio Enclosures.
We all have a lot of things going on in our lives, which is why the last thing we need is to complicate simple things. At least, that's how I feel about mac and cheese. Why add all sorts of complicated things to something that's already heavenly? That's why today I'm sharing a mac and cheese recipe that's perfectly simple. We start by cooking our pasta and draining it really well. While that sits for a minute or so, we melt some butter in a saucepan and whisk in some flour and salt and pepper, making what is known as a roux. After this cooks for a bit, we slowly stir in some milk and bring that to a boil. As it heats up, it'll start to thicken. Now we add lots of cheddar cheese. The sharper, the better. Once it's melty smooth, we mix most of it with the pasta and place it in a baking dish. A bit more sauce goes on top, and we finish it off with some saltine crackers that we've crushed and mixed with a little butter. Once it's bubbling hot and the top starts to get golden, it's time to call the troops to the table. Talk about a dish that's both kid and adult friendly. To get this one-size-fits-all home-style macaroni and cheese recipe, all you have to do is check out our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a basically better way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Thanks for watching, everyone. The Bold and the Beautiful is next.